Hi, my name is Priscilla Openyu Mutangadura, and welcome to this podcast called The Life in My Name. I hope you enjoy, I hope you like, rate it, and subscribe to this channel. Also, please share with other people. And feel free to ask questions on anything that you may want to understand more. And I can take advantage of digging deeper. Let's make this fun. Let's make this a conversation between us. After being introduced to numerology and going through the whole course, the professional studies of numerology, we got to a point where it was time to write a 10-page paper. And oh my gosh, I remember feeling so overwhelmed by that process because I didn't know how to even write a 10-page paper. Back in school, well, this is something that I used to do that I wish I didn't do. But when I was in school, I used to pay people to write papers for me. And this kept me in a place of not knowing my strength or not knowing how to write papers, how to work on my English, my grammar, and all that stuff, because I used to look for people that were good at those skills and I would pay them to write papers for me. Well, at this point, especially because numerology is it's a spiritual science, I didn't want to cheat the system, and it wasn't it wasn't even possible for me to find someone out there that could write a paper for me, because this class was really specific and special. And it's honestly speaking, numerology is not like neuroscience or biology, where you can go on Upwork or somewhere where there are freelancers that can help you write a paper or do something for them. So it was not easy, but I had to face it. I had the choice not to do it. I had the choice not to write. But in my head, I guess I would say intuitively, I had this deeper understanding and feeling that, who knows, maybe one day I could write a book. And here and there, I would joke with with people within my circles that when I write a book, this, that, or one day I'll write a book, I would always talk about that, but jokingly. I didn't mean it literally. Then, during this phase where I had to write a 10-page paper, I was super nervous. I was like, you know what? If I'm ever going to write a book in my life, I would want this to be a moment for me to really know where I'm at in regards to just having that courage to write an English paper, for crying out loud, English. Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable doing it, especially 10 pages. For me, it felt like that was like the extreme levels of pushing it for me. But I just told myself that, okay, this is it. Let me do it. And that was the main motivation for me. That was the main motivation, because I knew within myself that I wanted to write a book. And here and there, even though I would joke about it, but here and there, I would feel like, oh, I could write about this in whatever book that I'll ever write. Like it would come to me here and there. And this feeling would come to me. And this was in the year 2021. That's where I started really, feeling all these feelings of maybe writing a book or doing this because I would want to one day write a book. So I continued on and I wrote a 10-page paper. And this was from the topic of karma because it had really, really touched me, especially in regards to the things that have happened in my life in the past. I knew there was something connected to that somewhere. I knew it and I felt it so much. So I wanted to share with other people about karma and that karma is real, guys. It's real. Cause and effect. It's not a joke. So I expressed this understanding how I had felt the connection within studying numerology. I wrote the paper. I had a friend of mine help me with the editing, which is very interesting because the person, actually, the two people that helped me with the editing of the 10-page paper are also the same people that I ended up working with were or on the editing and the formatting for the book, for the actual book. So that's just how God works. They helped me so much and they were very much impressed with this 10-page paper. Like, it was so good in their opinion and in my opinion too. Later on in life, long story short, because it's really a long story and a lot of it is going to be in chapter 9 of the book and also chapter 7 of the book. All this that was happening in my life, where I had finished writing the 10-page paper, time had passed, I changed job, I moved to a different uh, area, and I started a new job, got fired, didn't have a place to live and to work until I got to a place in my life where I just wanted to to understand that, okay, I have so many talents. I had so many ideas that I wanted to do. And I wasn't happy in regards to the jobs that I was taking during that time. I felt there was something more. I felt that I was not doing things to do with my purpose or things that fulfill me, my soul purpose. I felt it deeply. And I would sometimes work on my wood burning, which is, these are the art behind me. That's the wood burning that I do. Feel free to place orders if you want. And I also do custom orders. I then started doing a program that Tony Robbins does. And this program involves listing a list of goals, the things that you want to do in 5 years' time, the things you want to do it 1 year, or the things you want to start now. And on this list, I had things like wood burning, I had costs, cost, content creation, and things to do with video making, so many things like that. And things like video making, honestly speaking, I didn't have the ways of playing around with video editing. It was something that I was still learning. So that was a little hurdle there that needed me investing in learning it. But writing a book, it was just waiting for me to sit down and start writing it. That being said, I thought of it and I was like, you know what? I could start working on the book right now. And it felt like so much weight was taken off my shoulders. I felt lighter and more happier because I was getting overwhelmed with all the things all the ideas and studying, because there was also studying involved. And there was also, yeah, there was just so many things that I was feeling overwhelmed. And I was now at a point where I started so many things that I wasn't finishing because of that pressure that I was putting on myself, all from not feeling happy and not feeling like I was moving within my own life mission. All that was leading to depression, which was not cool. I then started working on continuing that 10-page paper, which, by the way, it ended up not just being 10 pages when I wrote it. I'm just referring it as 10-page paper, but I had so much to write in it that it ended up being more than 10 pages. I think it was like almost 20 pages by the time I was done with that paper for the numerology course. But the book itself was branching out from this pretty much 10-page paper. Like I said, I'll name it. And it then started, I then started writing it from that. So meaning this part is now a chapter or part of a chapter in the book. It's now in chapter 8, by the way, which it definitely helped me to start the book because I had a place to start. I had ideas that instead of talking about the things that I was planning to make videos on, I just told myself, you know what, I could just write it in a book and it could be part of a chapter in a book. So it helped. When the fear of thinking that I wasn't strong in my literature and even just the English or academic skills, it was like there was a weakness there, and I knew it was there, but I knew it was time to face it, and trusting it was just the only step that I could take. Just trusting and sitting down and writing. The way information flowed, including words that I had no idea what they meant. They were coming in and I was putting them on Google to see what they mean. And they were exactly what I wanted to express. Pure channeling. Like I was just channeling. Every time I would sit down, I would ask for help from God and God would do the rest. God was doing the rest for me in writing the book. And honestly, it was a miracle that was unfolding right in my eyes. Even some of the stories that I put in there, some of them were things that I had totally forgotten because they were things that had happened in my childhood or, yeah, very, very much early on in my childhood or in my life. And I had forgotten about it, but it would come in the right moment, the right chapter. And it wasn't like overwhelming. It was coming every time it would come, it would be as needed for each chapter that I was working on. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. This God, this creator is super awesome. And yeah, only God could do such. Only God could do such. And there were moments where I would feel like, overwhelmed with even just writing a book. So much pressure between balancing the job that I had found and also balancing with the writing the book and also just life's demands. But doors would open for me to still get paid and still have time, whether I would be called not to, they would call me and tell me not to come to work or, anything of that nature where I would still get paid, but still didn't have to physically go to work. It was pretty cool. And things like this also, especially with the visions and the flow of information, is what really helped me continue on in the moments that I felt like giving up. I was like, okay, if this wasn't meant to be, why would God be helping me this way? Like vividly, not just like, oh yeah, it was vivid. Even the way nature would present itself. There's so many stories that happened in my life that I talk about in the book. For instance, like the an ego, like the way it approached me, like an actual flying ego. I mean, anyway, I don't want to spoil it. It's been a journey. I don't want to tell you too much about what's in the book, but it's been an amazing journey. So all this to say, looking at my numerology and looking at my numbers, there is a strong influence of the number nine. And the number nine has that humanitarian service vibe that drives it to want to serve humanity. It's the number that is known for writing books, like the authors, and any form of service, anywhere that it can impact humanity and share itself is within that number. Doing things for others and not thinking about themselves. So I was feeling that deeply, because even some of the stories that I shared in the book, they are stories that I had no idea I would say this in front of people, because of how probably embarrassed I was and how sensitive information it is to me, very personal, and yeah, so deep. But at that point I was like, you know what, in the moments I felt like I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it for somebody, that somebody would resonate with this story. So that's how the number nine operates. So I'm not saying that's my life path, but then that's my pinnacle. At this moment, I'm in my pinnacle is a number nine. And also my name adds up to a nine. Like the word Priscilla, the name Priscilla, it adds up to a nine, which means the nine definitely has so much influence in my life, and also within the name. Which, honestly speaking, guys, there's so much I can say. There is so much I can say about the influence of numbers and numerology and how we can take advantage of this. Because if I had not known that the nine is there at its almost at its peak, I probably would have just been like, oh, you know what? Probably gonna write a book years later. I probably would have just procrastinated and said, you know what? I'll do it later. But knowing my numbers helped me have that grounding and that faith and understanding that now is the time. Now is the time. And it helped me really just have that certainty to start working and acting upon something that I wanted to do in that moment. So many other tools helped. So many other tools, like the activity that Tony Robbins suggested, but I already had it. I already had the book on the list, because I knew that was something that I wanted to do. I knew that it was something that had to be done, thanks to knowing my numbers. So my question for you is, don't you want to know your numbers? Don't you want to know how to use your time productively? Don't you want to know how to take advantage of this time that you have? Already maximize this present moment, because we don't know what tomorrow has. We don't know if we have tomorrow. Don't you want to steer your life in an amazing direction, knowing that you are serving your purpose right, doing something that you are called to attend to? So let me know in the comments. Feel free to send me a direct message on my Instagram, and let's talk about this. Let's talk about numbers, and let me know if you want a reading. We can do it and have fun while we're at it. So please share, like, subscribe, rate. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for listening to the story of my life. Here's a QR code to my Instagram page.